You're listening to The Residential Movement, where the focus is on making in-home dental care normal instead of novel or niche. I'm your host, Dr. Ashley Robinson, a house call dentist with a lot of passion for reaching patients who are best served in their home or residence. I'm here to encourage, equip, and empower dentists like you to begin offering in-home dental services for patients who cannot get to the office, while also enjoying a more balanced work life. We discuss everything from dentistry, business, ethics, mindset, and more. Listen in to learn how you can become a part of the residential movement. Hello there. Thank you for joining me today. One of the best things about becoming a house call dentist is the low initial investment that's required. Sure, portable equipment can be pricey, but think about all of the things you don't need to purchase for a house call practice that you would need to purchase for a brick-and-mortar practice. You don't need any real estate. You don't need to hire a team. But one thing you will need is transportation. Now, when I tell people that I'm a house call dentist, sometimes their next question is, do you have a van where you see your patients? My answer has always been no. I don't have a mobile van where I provide care because my patients could never get into a van. I go directly into patients' homes and I drive my equipment to them in my car, my teeny tiny sedan. Yep, for the past almost 3 years now, I've packed my portable dental equipment into my Corolla and drove it to people's homes. It's the same used car that I purchased during my residency and that I used when I was driving Uber. Man, Ubering gave me some great stories, but I could share those with you another time. Way back in episode 5, I talked specifically about 5 things that you don't need in order to get started with your house call practice. I specifically said that one of the things that you don't need is a van. You can get started by using whatever vehicle you currently have. This is still completely true, and you don't even need a vehicle if you use public transportation to get around your city. Well, all of that being said, guess what? We bought a van. Let me clarify. We bought a minivan for transportation, not a mobile dental van. My patients still can't get out of their homes and into a van for treatment. But for transporting equipment and driving around, I traded in my Corolla and upgraded to a minivan. I told my family and friends this, and they started teasing me. They're like, oh, you have 1 kid now, so now you need a minivan? If you think it sounds silly, hear me out. In my Corolla, I could fit most of my equipment in the trunk, but sometimes some of it would have to be transported in my back seat. Well, we have a baby now, and that back seat has a car seat. I didn't want to have my pack-out equipment next to the car seat. I never want to make a sharp turn and risk any type of injury to the baby. So yes, now I'll be driving a minivan, and all of the equipment and the baby car seat can be in there and never cross paths. I acknowledge that this is a wanted and not necessary upgrade, but I wanted to share this reminder that you can always get started with whatever you have and then upgrade whenever you're ready. Beyond that reminder, I also wanted to remind you of some tax advantages that you have as a house call dentist. First of all, for any and all bookkeeping, please use QuickBooks. This online software is incredibly easy to use and it's really helpful to you from month to month. It's also very helpful to your accountant come tax time. If you'd like a discount on your monthly subscription, sign up for QuickBooks by using the link at residentialmovement.com/QuickBooks. As a person who uses a vehicle for work, you can deduct vehicle expenses come tax time. At the minimum, you can deduct work-related mileage, so when you use your personal vehicle to drive to the lab or to a patient's house, keep track of the mileage, and you can easily keep track of it in QuickBooks. In 2024, the set reimbursement rate is 67 cents per mile. This changes year to year, but your accountant will know the changes. The next option is to deduct vehicle-related expenses, so track any and all work done on your vehicle. This includes oil changes, car washes, everything. If you use this vehicle for work 100% of the time, you can deduct 100% of those expenses. If you use this vehicle for work 75% of the time, you can deduct 75% of those expenses. So keep track of those things. Finally, if you buy a vehicle that's large and heavy enough, you can utilize Section 179 of the tax code to potentially deduct up to 100% of the vehicle's cost in a single year if you use that vehicle for work. That section of the tax code is actually there as some type of provision for heavy machinery or equipment, and luckily some vehicles, like vans, qualify. There's a value limit here, so make sure to check in with your tax professional if you plan to use this strategy. Actually, just work closely with a tax professional for every large decision that you make in your business. They're obviously much more knowledgeable than I am. I just want to share the basics with you that I do know. And that's about all that I know, so I won't even mislead you by saying much more. Just know that when you begin using your vehicle for your practice, or when you purchase a vehicle for your house call practice, that you will have tax advantages that are not available to dentists who traditionally practice in a brick-and-mortar office. It's just a deduction that house call dentists can utilize. If you're ready to become a house call dentist, consider joining this cohort of Dental House Call Practice Academy. Dental House Call Practice Academy, or DHCPA, is an online course where I teach you how to start your dental house call practice. I'll guide you step by step through starting your business, shopping for equipment, best practices, and everything. If you're interested, visit residentialmovement.com/DHCPA to join the waitlist and be the first to know when enrollment is open. It'll be open before the end of the month. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. Your future patients and I cannot wait for you to become a house call dentist. I appreciate you. That's a wrap on this episode of The Residential Movement. If you like what you heard today, please leave a 5-star review and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you know someone who could benefit from this information, please share this with them. All of these actions help fuel the residential movement. Visit residentialmovement.com for show notes and for access to any links referenced in this episode. Thanks again for listening, Doc. Keep up the good work.